Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 3 of part 9, the slightly harder problems. This one is actually pretty tricky. I've got a solution for it, but it's very, very information dense. You should be okay if you have control over modulo and floor divide. If you don't know what either of those are now, pause, stop, go do some research, figure out how modulo and floor divide work. I will be talking about them. I will do a little bit of explaining about what they are, but I'm sort of going to be brushing over those concepts pretty quickly in this video. So floor divide and modulo. If you don't know what those are, go do some research now. Apart from that, let's dig into it. Write a program to ask for bus departure time and travel time to destination. The program should then calculate the expected arrival time and output all the information available, i.e. departure time is this, journey length is this, expected arrival time is that. Now, a couple of things to note here. I want the user to enter the times in that format with a little colon in the middle for the departure time. I want the journey length in minutes, and I'm going to get the expected arrival time with that format too, with a little colon in the middle, but no AM PM. We're not going to worry about AM PM in this exercise. Let's give it a shot. Let's dive in. Okay, get rid of that. I have been playing around with it before. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to get departure time. Now, in order for departure time to be useful to us, going a little bit fuzzy, we actually need to split out the hour and the minutes so that we can do some arithmetic on them separately. And we're going to use a function called .split in order to do that. But I want them to be integers. And so just in order to simplify things down, I'm going to do things a little bit different. You may have seen me do this before, maybe not. I'm going to declare this in a list, and I'm going to do a for loop within that list so that I can change everything that I get into an integer immediately. You can do this another way. You could just do line after line after line and change them into an integer. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. So I want hours, minutes. It's going to equal integer I for I in input what is the departure time, and I might just give a little cue to my user in the format that I want it, because if I don't get it in exactly that format, it's going to break. What is the departure time? IE 11:45 and dash in that. Okay, and now I need to split. Now split is a cool little function. If there's any spaces in there, it's going to split these apart, and it's going to give me two things when before I only had one. I don't want spaces though. I want to split it apart on the colon. How do I do that? Well, I can tell split, I want you to split it at the colon sign. If you see a colon sign, give me the first thing that you see into this variable, into the hours variable. Give me the second thing you see into the minutes variable. Okay, let's just show that working. Let's print hours colon minutes. This is a common thing to do as well. If you're checking multiple things, just put a string so that you can actually see what the thing is that you're spitting out towards the end. Cool, run that. What is the departure time? i.e. 11:45, I'm gonna go with 12:30. Hours is 12, minutes is 30. Great, that's working. Cool. Next thing I need is travel time It's going to equal integer input. What is the travel time in minutes? Time, T-I-M-E, in minutes. Okay. Now here comes the tricky part. If it's 11:45 and my bus trip takes 20 minutes, do I end up at 11:65? No. No, I don't. We're starting to do some modular arithmetic here. We need to use the modulo operator to say, actually, can you please loop around again? And once you get to once you get to 59 minutes, can you please loop around back to 0? And then you can carry on all the way up to 59 minutes again, and then again loop back around to 0. That's what we call modulo, right? It's just looping, 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 and we need to keep track of how many times it's looping as well. How do we do that? Well, we need to know how many times does travel time divide into however many minutes there are in an hour. How many minutes are there in an hour? 60. So we need to go travel time. No, we don't. We need to add on to hours. So hours plus equals travel time modulo 60. So hours plus equals travel time modulo 60. Take a look at the travel time. If it's greater than 60, we can add one onto the hour. But also, if it's 11:45 and we're going an extra 20 minutes, we still need to take care of that. So in here, we need to say plus minutes. And that whole thing needs to be modulo 60. Add minutes onto the travel time. So you're going to add 20 onto 45. We're going to end up with 65 minutes. And then modulo 60, what's the answer to that? It's going to be 5. Actually, that's not hours, that's minutes. Minutes is going to be equal to that. Minutes is equal to that modulo 60. Hours actually wants the same thing, except it wants it floor divided by. Ooh, floor divide, what is that? A whole number of divisions. So divided down to the rounded down to the nearest whole number. Rounded down to the nearest whole number is what floor divide means. So up here I'm going to say hours plus equals, same thing, travel time plus minutes. And this time, floor divided by 60. Okay. There's still an error in here. This still isn't going to quite work, but we're going to print it out. Then we're going to show you why this doesn't quite work, because I think that's interesting as well. So print expected f string expected arrival time, hours, minutes. I don't quite like that. I like that. Let's do that instead. Expected arrival time, that many hours and that many minutes. Let's run it. Let's see if it's working. We know it's not working, but why isn't it working? Let's say it is 11:45. 11:45 in the morning, and we're on our bus. What's the travel time in minutes? It's going to be, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there, 90 minutes. Expected arrival time, 13:15. Ooh, okay. That's fine if we're working in 24-hour time. We're not really, though. I mean, we could be, and we could just leave it there, and that would all be fine. But we could say this. It's 11:45. Whoops, don't put a dot or everything will break. 11:45, what's travel time? Several thousand. Expected arrival time, 16678. That doesn't work. That's not right. The maximum amount of hours we can have is 12. If not 12, 24 at very least. Or 23 in a 24-hour clock. So what do we need to do still? We need to take hours and do it modulo 12. We're almost there. This is still going to fail. Just before we do, I'm going to dash in this because this is annoying me, and do a nice question mark here and here. Here. It's still 11:45. What have I done? I didn't use that colon. That's why it didn't work. Yes, it is breakable. If you were actually making this for the wild, you'd think up ways to fix that. We're not for the moment. What is the travel time in minutes? It is going to be 20 minutes. Expected arrival time 05. Oh, okay. Okay. Why don't we have 05? That's a problem. How do we fix that? I'm not sure. If you have the answer, leave it down in the comments. That's a problem. But here, we can just say if hours is equal to 0, hours equals 12. That's my solution. And run the same thing. It's 11:45. We're going for 30 minutes. Expected arrival time 12:15. There we go. That is close enough for the moment. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not quite happy with the fact that we got 12.5 last time, or 0.5. I don't have an immediate solution to that. Maybe you can think up one. If you find one, put it down in the comments below and go from there. Excellent. That's that one finished for the moment. See you later.